Hello, fabulous superstar Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of September 2024. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological week, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time, and it truly is so special. Well, right out of the gate, September 1st is a huge day. I mean, I think that this is a month where a lot of people are going to feel like it was a roller coaster, but a lot of truth was revealed and a lot changed. It is on the 1st that two big celestial events are taking place. One is the fact that Uranus goes retrograde. Uranus going retrograde brings with it revelation, insight, and a shock a minute. Now for you, it is going retrograde in your sign, which means Uranus is standing still in your sign at the height of its power. This is a huge moment for you, actually, because as Uranus goes retrograde here, think about this. Uranus is going to go retrograde for the next 5 months or so, will go direct in your sign, and then it's going to dip into the sign just after yours next year. It is going to retrograde in the sign of Gemini, and then retrograde back into your sign, stand still, and then go forward, and then leave your sign. I'll be here to talk about it every step of the way. But this is the last time you get a station retrograde, right? The next two times are either station direct in your sign, station retrograde in another sign, station direct in your sign in 2026, and that's it, right? It's over. We are moving on. We are moving forward. And then you'll be done for the next 80 plus years of having Uranus in your sign. And all of that is to say, I want you to consider how special this moment is, how important this moment is for you, because it speaks to an awareness that ultimately is going to invite self-reflection. It's going to invite you to go in. It's the inner revolution that's being triggered by perhaps some external event that ends up feeling very significant for you. But it is a moment of clarity and honesty about who you are, what matters to you most and first, what's nearest and dearest to you. This sense of identity being illuminated in a way that you didn't expect. And it could be, wow, I didn't realize that's who I was. I didn't realize that's what really matters to me. Or you're looking at something you did and you're like, oh my God, that's not me. What's going on? That really isn't me. And then you go within and you'll spend the next few months finding your answers. And these are valuable answers for you, because they're going to encourage you to focus on the revolution within. Uranus is always a revolution, which is going to find you now. On the same day, Pluto will retrograde back into fellow Earth sign Capricorn and will be here until the 19th of November, after which time Pluto will move on, not to return to this part of the sky for about 250 years or so. Okay, so it's a nice, long stay that has been taking place since 2008 and likely won't be repeated again in our lifetime. But it's this return that is about wrapping up loose ends now and over the course of the coming weeks, about a 7-week period. Now, this part of the sky has to do with long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, legal matters, and it has to do with an understanding of your philosophical and spiritual truths, what helps you to make sense of the world and guides your life. The principles, the philosophies, the ideas, that's what's highlighted here. And with Pluto can come an immense amount of focus and determination. There can also be a need to get really honest with yourself about where it is that perhaps you don't have power or you've been going about it all wrong. Whatever comes up now, understand that it is in many ways wrapping up loose ends that have been there with you as part of this larger journey going all the way back to 2008. In some way, your relationship to the world has gone through a profound transformation. Now, if it is that you're involved in a legal matter, this can get messy, I'm sorry to say, but again, it's just a matter of a few weeks. after which time the energy calms right down. It could feel like there are factors there that aren't fair, but it could also feel like closure is in sight. And that includes if you're involved in an institute of higher learning. You're wrapping up some loose ends there. If it is that you're doing any traveling, it could have a profound and transformative effect on your life going forward from here. Regardless, though, understand that you are moving forward in important ways. You are moving in a direction of finding strength and clarity and nuance that is deeply meaningful on a level that ultimately is going to shift your relationship to the world itself. And that shift will stay with you for many, many years to come. Now, the next day, on the 2nd, we have a new moon. And this new moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with what you want in your heart of hearts in every area of life. And that includes creative fulfillment, happiness, joy, the children in your life as well. New moons bring with them new beginnings and new opportunities. Saturn is opposite this new moon, which does suggest a reality check moment, very likely delivered through another person, making it especially uncomfortable. But again, it brings you back to reality. It helps facilitate an honest evaluation. And this could be related to where you are in terms of a creative project or endeavor. How far you've come, how far you have yet to go, how much are you going to prioritize creative endeavor and put that at the forefront or not. I would be very mindful of any kind of gambling or risk taking at this time, because Saturn only gives you what you have earned. And with an opposition, it's really what you've well earned. And sometimes it can feel like, there's an evaluation from outside of you that is saying you got more to do. And in a way that doesn't necessarily feel comfortable. And you get to decide what it's going to mean for you. Now, having said that, it is also this part of the sky having to do with happiness and joy. It's getting really honest with yourself about where perhaps you've fallen into a place of, liking or accepting false forms of joy in a way that just isn't working for you anymore. And that could be your new beginning. That could be your turning point that leads you to heart. If there are children in your life, you might be making some decisions that are measured based on how to be the best presence in their life. But it might also be a time when, if you want children, you're looking at it practically and getting advice as to how it is that you can move in that direction. If it is your fertility now that brings with it the opportunity to have a child in a way that you didn't expect, that too could be part of the honest evaluation about what you're going to choose going forward from here. Now, navigating forward, the very big news is on the 17th of the month, we have a lunar eclipse, the beginning of eclipse season. Whenever we enter eclipse season for 2 weeks, the ancients believed it was a period of time where the veils between the worlds were especially thin. It was that much easier to recognize the spiritual lessons playing out in your life. Now, for you, it is this lunar eclipse that is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with friendships and group alliances. This is a hugely consequential partial lunar eclipse. Eclipses bring with them surprise, sometimes shock. It's like what was in front of you all along. You just didn't see it. And then all of a sudden it's as clear as day and you can't believe you didn't see it before. All major outer planets are intimately involved in this eclipse, which is part of a kite formation now. And that is a larger configuration that is so powerful. And so here we have conversations from Uranus and Pluto. We have this eclipse close in the sky to Saturn on one side, Neptune on the other, and the eclipse is square Jupiter, making everything feel bigger and larger and over the top. And so change must happen for all of us. Now, for you, it is going to be seeing a friend very differently, perhaps in an instant. It may also be seeing your role within a group dynamic differently as well. And something's got to change. Something's got to give. For some, it's going to feel as if certain friends come or go very quickly now. Who comes in may take you by surprise and may feel like it is just the person you needed for this moment of your life. But who goes, or if certain group alliances come to a close as well, there's going to be a feeling of finality here. Like, yeah, that's done. I'm done. I don't want that person in my life anymore. Or I'm not participating in that group endeavor anymore. Eclipses are karmic. So whoever comes, let it. Whoever goes, let it. Because it is part of the moment. It is part of the energy of this time. The acceptance of it and the knowing that whatever's happening now is divinely compassionate and also consequential. Who is good for you is going to stay. Who's great for you, those alliances will only grow stronger. Now, where it comes to matters of love, I'm going back to the new moon energy that takes place on the 2nd of the month. And that new moon is happening in a part of the sky that, in addition to what I spoke to, has to do with romance, flirtation, and what the heart is really wanting, including in love, what you need to feel loved. And this new moon is going to bring with it new opportunities and new beginnings. But again, we've got Saturn opposite, and that's going to be about evaluating what it is you want in a bigger picture in a longer term. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, as much as there may be a desire to get your flirt on, there might also be a part of you that's feeling hesitant or wanting to be patient. It's like you're thinking about what you really want in the long term and what's going to get you there, and not sure how to go about it. You may be very aware of what hasn't worked in the past. And so you're sort of feeling your way forward as part of figuring out what you really want to do and what the next best steps are for you as well. So pace yourself at this time. You could connect with someone in a meaningful way, but it's so much about your experience now and where it is that you sense there could be long-term potential. Well, I think it's going to be that much more likely that you're going to want to pace yourself at this time. But with that, of course, it could mean that this person reveals themselves to not necessarily be long-term potential. This is a time of learning and of being honest with yourself about what you're really wanting. And some experience is going to help you to find the clarity. For those of you who are just starting to date someone, I see this new moon as one of consequence and all or nothing. You're really looking at whether or not there's long-term potential here. And if there isn't, you're able to look at what you're really going for. Doing something just for the moment probably isn't going to work for you, as there's going to be a desire to have something that has the potential to last. But where it is that this could be something to navigate forward with, your patience is likely to feel strong, as will your desire more and more for a sense of commitment. For those of you who are in an established bond, if you have felt for a while that maybe the things that you need to feel loved haven't really been met, those needs haven't really been met, I think you're going to feel some of that. Now, just know that in long-term relationships in particular, they go through phases, as you might have learned by now. And there are times that feel more romantic or flirty than other times do. And this energy is about wanting things to be flirty, but not feeling flirty energy. Instead, feeling an energy that is much more consequential than the lightness that flirtation could bring. On the other hand, though, you might have an rather perhaps innocent flirtation outside your relationship, and it sort of awakens something within you, a longing as to what you feel you have, or maybe you want more of in your relationship as well. So pace yourself at this time. There's going to be a lot of desires of your heart stirring in very strong ways. Ultimately, though, at the very end of the month, we're going to have Venus enter your opposite sign, which is going to be amazing for your partnership. And I'll talk a lot more about that in next month's horoscope in particular. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say I love the energy of, well, I think Uranus going retro in your sign. This is huge and this is rare. Remember, you are not going to see this again exactly this way in your lifetime. Now, that doesn't mean that that isn't true for just about anything, I guess we could say, right? Any astrological event. But really, this is reaching such a personal part of you that it is special. It is a chance to get really honest about who you are and who you are not, and then begin a process of soul searching that is going to stay with you for a very long time to come. Where you have gone off track from some truth about yourself, you will be brought back in ways that are surprising and for some Taurians rather shocking, but necessary as part of living a life more authentically you, which is always the higher gift that Uranus has been working overtime to bring into your life now and over the last years of this larger transit. Since 2018, you've had Uranus in your sign, and it's been quite the journey. You're nearing the end, right? You've got a couple more years left where you're going to feel this energy, and then that's it. Uranus will move on. This is a peak moment as part of that larger journey that ultimately restores you to you. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.